This is the story of how an NFL star's court date became the most strategically timed postponement in recent sports news. Stefon Diggs, wide receiver for the New England Patriots, was supposed to face an arraignment on January 23rd. Instead, his legal team secured a postponement to February 13th, 5 days after the Super Bowl. This timing is not a coincidence, and it's become known as the Arraignment Audible. Let's start with what actually happened. On December 2nd, 2025, a Tuesday, an incident occurred at Stefon Diggs's residence on Schoolmaster Lane in Dedham, Massachusetts. Diggs's private chef, who was employed by him, was at his home. According to the police report filed by Officer Kenneth J. Ellis, the two got into a dispute. The dispute was about money. The chef claimed she had not been paid for work she performed in November. During that November period, Diggs had house guests, and the chef had to leave early. When she returned to work later, she expected payment for that week. That's when things escalated. According to the police narrative, Diggs allegedly entered the chef's unlocked bedroom. He allegedly smacked her across the face during their discussion about the owed wages. The report states he then allegedly tried to choke her using the crook of his elbow around her neck. The chef reported that she felt like she could have blacked out. Diggs allegedly threw her on a bed and said lies when she told him she hadn't been paid. This incident happened on December 2nd, but here's the critical detail. The chef didn't report it to police immediately. She waited 2 weeks. On December 16th, she went to the Dedham Police Department and filed a report. According to the police narrative, she was initially reluctant to press charges, but changed her mind the week before filing the report. Stefon Diggs now faces 2 criminal charges. First, a felony charge of strangulation or suffocation. Second, a misdemeanor charge of assault and battery. Now, let's be clear about what the strangulation charge means. According to legal analysis, prosecutors don't need to show that the victim lost consciousness or suffered visible injuries. The charge focuses on whether pressure was applied to the neck or throat in a way that interferes with breathing or blood flow. Lawmakers treat this as a serious charge because of the potential danger it represents. Diggs categorically denies these allegations. Through his attorney, David Meyer, he released a statement that said, and I'm quoting directly, "Stefon Diggs categorically denies these allegations. They are unsubstantiated, uncorroborated, and were never investigated because they did not occur. The timing and motivation for making the allegations is crystal clear. They are the direct result of an employee-employer financial dispute that was not resolved to the employee's satisfaction. Stefon looks forward to establishing the truth in a court of law." But there's more context here. When the chef went back to Diggs's home on December 9th to retrieve her belongings, she was allegedly told by Diggs's assistant that she had to sign a non-disclosure agreement before she could receive payment. She refused to sign. The New England Patriots organization released a statement. Here's what they said. "The New England Patriots are aware of the accusations that have been made regarding Stefon Diggs. Stefon has informed the organization that he categorically denies the allegations. We support Stefon, and the team expressed support. We will gather all facts and will cooperate with the authorities and NFL as appropriate. Out of respect for all involved, we note that this is an ongoing matter, and we will have no further comment at this time." So the Patriots are supporting their player. The NFL also weighed in, saying they are aware of the matter and have been in contact with the club, but would have no further comment. Now here's the important part about league discipline. Diggs remains eligible to play. He has not been placed on the commissioner exempt list. Why? Because under the NFL's personal conduct policy, placement on that list is considered following formal charges, like an indictment, the filing of charges by a prosecutor, or an arraignment in a criminal court. That arraignment hasn't happened yet. To understand why this story matters, you need to know who Stefon Diggs is. He's 32 years old and a wide receiver for the New England Patriots. He signed with the Patriots in March 2025 on a 3-year deal worth $69 million. In 2025, his first season with the Patriots, Diggs had an outstanding year. He caught 85 passes for 1,013 yards and 4 touchdowns. This was his 7th 1,000-yard season in his career. It was also the first 1,000-yard season for a Patriots receiver since Julian Edelman in 2019. That 1,000-yard milestone came in Week 18, the final regular season game, against the Miami Dolphins. It was a 34-yard reception in the third quarter, and that achievement earned him a $500,000 contract incentive. Diggs is a 4-time Pro Bowler and a 2-time first-team All-Pro. Before joining the Patriots, he had consecutive 1,000-yard seasons with the Minnesota Vikings and Buffalo Bills from 2018 to 2023. Now we get to the audible part of this story. The New England Patriots earned the number 2 seed in the AFC. This is their first playoff appearance since 2021. They're hosting the Los Angeles Chargers in the wildcard round. Diggs remains eligible to play in these games, and that's where the arraignment timing becomes crucial. Originally, Stefon Diggs was scheduled for arraignment on January 23, 2026. That's 2 days before the AFC Championship game, which is scheduled for January 25th. But on January 9, 2026, Judge Jean-Marie Carroll of Dedham District Court approved a request to postpone the arraignment. The new date is February 13, 2026. Why does this matter? Because February 9th is when Super Bowl LLX is scheduled to take place. So by moving the arraignment to February 13th, Diggs is guaranteed to play through the entire playoff run without any risk of being placed on the commissioner exempt list before the Super Bowl. Diggs' attorney David Meyer provided the reason for the postponement. He stated that Diggs has only recently been engaged in this matter, and he has a previously scheduled professional commitment on January 23rd. That professional commitment is, of course, playing in the AFC Championship game if the Patriots make it that far. This is what's being called the Arraignment Audible, a play on the term audible from football, where a quarterback changes the play at the line of scrimmage. In this case, the legal team audibled the court date. What actually happens at an arraignment? It's usually the first formal court appearance. The charges are read aloud, the defendant is advised of their rights, a plea is entered, often not guilty at this early stage. The judge may address conditions of release, like no contact orders or travel restrictions. But here is what's important. No witnesses testify at arraignment. No evidence is weighed. It's not where guilt or innocence is determined. That comes later, in trial. Let's be clear about something. An arrest or charge does not mean someone is guilty. It means prosecutors believe there is enough information to bring the case to court. The burden of proof is entirely on the prosecution. They must prove each element of each charge beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a high bar. In a case like this, where the parties know each other, legal analysis becomes more detailed. Prosecutors must still prove their case beyond reasonable doubt. Both sides examine the history between the individuals, prior communications, timelines, and whether accounts are consistent over time. There's another detail worth noting. Diggs is in a relationship with rapper Cardi B. The couple recently welcomed a baby boy. Cardi B has publicly defended Diggs on social media, stating confidence that the chef lied about the incident. So what comes next? The arraignment is scheduled for February 13th. That's when Diggs will make his first formal court appearance. The charges will be read, a plea will be entered, the judge may set conditions of release. Beyond that, several things could happen. A grand jury could issue an indictment. That would accelerate the case. Evidence would be gathered and examined. Both the prosecution and the defense would build their cases. Eventually, this could go to trial. Or, given that Diggs' legal team is actively negotiating with the alleged victim over financial compensation, it's possible a settlement could be reached that resolves the matter outside of court. What we do know is that the NFL is watching. Once the legal process concludes, the league will make a decision about discipline under its personal conduct policy. That discipline might not come until after the 2025 season ends anyway, given the timing of the arraignment postponement. From the Patriots' perspective, this timing also matters for their salary cap. Diggs signed a 3-year, $69 million deal, but the team has already paid most of the guaranteed money. The Patriots have a contractual out after the 2025 season that would result in a $9.7 million dead cap charge. So even if Diggs is eventually suspended by the league, it wouldn't take effect until the 2026 season.